have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
Pat Hoffman.
an inmate at Airway Heights Correction Center. This call will be recorded and monitored. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now. To accept this call, press 5 now. To decline this call, hang up. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Hoffman.
Yes, I had to contact you this morning. It's good to hear you, good to be with you. I had to pass along something that Agnes told me yesterday in the process of handling that paperwork for that no contact order that they are trying to work through Stevens County court system. The little gal at Brussels that's a neighbor to Agnes in her apartment building asked her, why does Pat continue to call this man? If he'd stop calling this man, these people would stop this. And Agnes says, no, it's gone beyond that. It wouldn't matter if Patrick never called him again. They would still be out to try to cause him harm and cause Mr. Davis harm, because Mr. Davis is a religious man and they don't have any religion in them. Now, along those lines, I remember a thing that I wrote out for a counselor at Coyote Ridge when I first got there. He was a man that was doing good things for everyone that was incarcerated, and had come to me and told me that my grandniece was trying to contact me from her dad, and that she had told him that her dad had a vision about me being brought home on a motorcycle by a light-haired woman. And this was before I met Agnes. And so he said, if you want, I can make a phone call for you so that you can contact him. And I said, sure, I'd love that. So I sat down and talked with him and stuff. But anyway, going to this thing that I wrote for him was an excerpt from The Art of War by Lao Tzu. And in that, it says, the excerpt that we put on the card for him is that an elderly man was sitting by the road, and a younger man came up to him and asked him, are you a wise man? And the elder man said for a minute, and he said this, if I tell you that I am a wise man, then I am short-living all of the other wise things that are out there that I have not gathered up in my years of life yet. If I tell you that I am not a wise man, then I am short-living all of the things that I have gathered to this time. So I tell you this, I am a man sitting by the side of the road seeking wisdom. Now, along those lines, there's another statement that comes to mind from this, and that was one from Bruce Lee, and it goes like this. A wise man, or a wise person, mind you, a wise person can gain more knowledge from a stupid answer than an unintelligent person can gain from a smart answer, from an intelligent answer. So, together with that, then we have today the court hearings for Mr. Cohen, who is the attorney or former attorney for the president. And we both know that attorneys are in the business to perform lies, to perform untruths, and to be inaccurate, and to be deceitful, and all of that. But the reason why he's going through the hearings now is there are intelligent people that are looking at him and scrutinizing him and understanding what I just said, that an honest person may find more truth and more understanding in a lie than a liar can in the truth.
Yeah. Right.
So
that's a powerful.
Now we take it one more step farther to this thing that they're trying to do with me now, which is, it shows their immaturity and it shows their inability to understand what truth and order and law-abiding citizens do every day. They abide in the law in appearance only. In their hearts, they try to break the law every chance they possibly can. That's why they're doing what they're doing now, is because they got caught up in an act. And it seems a little strange now that this one that works here that I caught telling me that they didn't have a contact from Josh Millard is now regularly in the control booth rather than walking around spouting his euphemisms and whatever else that he can perform. All of a sudden he's backed up a step or two and being more cautious about what he's saying and what he's doing. And that tells me that what Agnes and I have put together to put before the judge in Stevens County is spot on. And it's only a matter of time before we don't have to deal with them anymore, because they will be too busy dealing with the boiling pot that they put themselves in.
Well, let me share this with you, Mr. Hoffman, and I enjoy talking to you as well,
yes.
I enjoy talking to you as well, and regardless of what happens, and I pray that God's works a miracle that you can get your freedom, but I don't abandon my brothers in prison, right? I hope to encourage you, and whatever lays ahead, right? I'm not the type of person who walks away from somebody, But here's the deal. Yesterday, a third warden, number 3, a third warden banned me from communicating with anybody at that prison, and this is the man that I had been speaking.
Where was this?
This was at USP McCreary in Kentucky. I've already been banned from Marion, Illinois, and Terre Haute, Indiana. So there's dozens and dozens of prisoners that they won't let me talk to. And here's the deal. There's websites on the internet that say the most vile, disgusting lies about you guys in cages, right? They put you in a cage, and then they have people write all of this negative things about you. And then if I come along and develop a rapport with you and write you a letter and we start communicating and let your side of the story get out, they'll ban me. And they claim that they claim that I caused disorder in the institution. Here's what I want you to know. Yesterday, Corey was teaming up with one of these band of devilish hyenas that brag about calling your prison. They brag about calling your prison and getting you harassed. And Corey said that your phone call yesterday was the most threatening ever, and they're biding their time in order to make a case against you. So they're not. I don't think they're going to go away peacefully. She's. And my concern is that we live in such a Sodom and Gomorrah world that they're just going to follow this woman who is going to act like she's the victim of your threats in prison, which is an absolute lie. She's the one who started it, and I'm just concerned that everybody believes the lies nowadays. They don't follow the truth.
Yeah. Well, I don't. In the greater scheme of things, you and I are solid in that we don't. It doesn't matter what ones like this try to trump up, because what she's doing is the wisdom of a fool.
Yeah.
And here is what a fool does, is to take what they hear from somebody and take a word from here and a word over here and a word over here, and shuffling it, throwing it up in the air, and when it comes down as a threat on the Ouija board, then Of course, it's true because Ouija said it was so. And you and I both know that the Ouija board is just another dark tool.
Yes. Amen to that.
And that's what these people are doing. And it's senseless and it's telling, and at the same time they don't know because they think that they're invulnerable, that the dark one has all the trump cards. And speaking of Trump, anyway,
Yep.
it's not going to go well. Now, on another line, these paperworks that I had Agnes send to these different justice departments didn't make it, and these justice department people refused to take on any of this simply because we didn't catch the time frame right. I had a window viewpoint from someone that told me that there was going to be a shakeup in the Justice Department system, and I wanted to try and get this paperwork about my case to them before this shakeup so that things got acted upon. But when Agnes was here, there was a shuffle in her visiting place of residence and stuff like that, so that she was unable to complete the paperwork and send it out during that time. It didn't make it out until 3 weeks later after she got back from here to Brussels. And in the process, it took another week, so that put everything a month behind. And now we have a new, not only one new, but two new Justice Department heads installed since then. And everybody's running for cover because there are leaks here and there. Mr. Trump has even engaged in the WikiLeaks organization there to further his own ambitions, and got fouled on it today with what Mr. Cohen had to say. And it shows how weak these people are, because there's a confidentiality of client and attorney privilege that he's breaking. All he has to do is say to these people, if he's about doing his job thoroughly and properly, that this is attorney-client privilege, and I'm not allowed to speak on that. But instead, he's trying to sell somebody out to keep himself from going to prison. Isn't that remarkable? And that's what's going to occur with these ones that are trying to do this with me. The ones that are here doing their bidding for the time, they will do that. But when it gets caught up, like I caught this one here, and it will get worse before it gets better. But when it gets better, we can turn around and not see any of them anywhere, because the whole thing is going to go up like the paperwork that they used to have for gambling. Flash paper. You touch a match to it and everything burns quick. Just what?
Yeah.
So that's the way it is, and they've made their bed and they can lie in it, and it doesn't matter to me. I don't care what they try to come up with. They are not changing me or changing my attitude or changing my lifestyle. I have been this way all my life, and there's been ones throughout my lifetime trying to point fingers at me to say that I'm doing something wrong when I'm not, and it has always proven the same way. They are liars in the end, and they have to tuck their tails and hang their heads and walk away and stay in the darkness. This was their attempt to try to get into the light, and they can't stand the light. It's the same thing that Agnes has said. When she asked Creator, why have you put us in troubled waters? Because your enemies can't swim.
Yep. That's powerful. That's very powerful. That right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach out to Penny and see if I can't get that photo of that
Well,
bullet. We'll see if that happens today.
You put this out as to as many of those that are like me, incarcerated, as possible. Don't give up. Claim your innocence. Fight for it in a good way. You don't have to raise your hands and fight off in that way. You stand to them and take their blows, and when it's done and over with, you tell them, is that the best you can do?
Amen. Amen. I love that. I love that. That's good.
Yeah. So,
have I ever sent you a book called The Kennel? The Kennel from written by Kent Hovind. It's about exposing the prison industrial complex.
no, I haven't got that from you. I don't even know that the book exists. So
Okay, I might.
If you're able to, and they allow it to come to me, this will be the next step now to test to whether or not they allow things. Because here a while back, they weren't allowing me to have Field and Stream magazine, because in regards to Field and Stream magazine, they had one article about escape to Fish Lake or something like that, and they used that as reason to deny me having the book. Not only that, but later on, there were pictures of hunting knives, and these pictures were full size. But the ones that denied them says we can't allow him to have that because it's a photo of a life-size knife. Now you know and I know that a knife doesn't have life in it, only that we take down animals and skin them out and carve their flesh up so that we have substance. They tried to make out that there was some way, somehow, I could use that photograph of a life-size knife to make some kind of weapon in here. Although there's never been anything in my background in 32 years of making a weapon of any sort.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes.
You know, the way that I describe it, Mr. Hoffman, is the type of people they hire to be these guards. They get paid these fairly nice salaries to sit around all day and to be tyrants and implement policies upon other human beings that are incarcerated. And the problem is when these devils call the prison, it's like they've made the guard's day, because now they've given the guard a reason to harass you guys, and it's like the guard was waiting for that phone call his whole life, just so he can go out and punish somebody.
Well, it begins to look like all of these people are related in some way or another, and when you find that there's been a female guard in an institution that's got 5 previous surnames to her, that she can't write her full name on a regular sheet of paper all the way across the page. She has to go to the next line to complete her full name of the people that she's been married to in the past, and still claims those names. Isn't that peculiar?
Wow. Yeah, that is strange.
So we have that kind of thing, and it tells me with what these people that were trying to reject my stuff were doing, and it mirrors the same thing that these two that are trying to get the court order for no contact towards me are doing. That's the senseless type of
You have 60 seconds remaining.
no-life activity that they're trying to do. They don't have anything good in their life, so they've got to try to make somebody else's life look bad so that they appear to be good. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Okay, God bless you, Mr. Hoffman. It's always good to hear from you. You're in our prayers. You're in our prayers.
Yep. And stay strong. Don't let them keel you over.
No, we're not.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
But they've got no ground to stand on. They're having to hover like a hummingbird.
Yeah.
And they don't have wings.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
God bless you, Mr. Hoffman.
God bless you too.
Okay.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.